The Daytona 500 on Fox is sponsored by Budweiser. Great times are waiting. Grab some buds.
Second caution of the day in the Daytona 500 as you watch our aerial coverage brought to you by DirecTV. Don't just watch TV, DirecTV. Dale Jr. and Martin Truex getting together as they came to the caution flag. After the caution came out, we heard this.
Got a couple cars coming with a run on the far outside up here. Here we go. Got two outside, two outside, two outside. Comes out. Gotta watch your caution light when the caution comes out. Yeah, 10-4. I never heard NASCAR say it, man. I can't see the lights that good. Yeah, 10-4.
I would suggest to my spotter, get somewhere where you can, because that could have been disastrous.
Normally the spotters are scanning NASCAR and they know exactly when they say put it out, meaning the caution's coming out.
I didn't even know they relied on the lights so much as they just did, like you said, unless NASCAR never got the word out, but everybody else slowed down.
We talked about Trevor Bayne making his first start for the Wood brothers, only his second Sprint Cup race. Just turned 20 yesterday. Dick Berggren, how's he doing?
I think he's doing pretty well, Mike. He just made a pit stop for fuel, and before the start of the race, I went to him and had him hold his hands straight out. Asked if he was nervous. Not one finger twitched. This kid is solid as a rock for his first Daytona 500.
Here's what he had to say the other night about drafting with Jeff Gordon in his qualifying race.
That was unbelievable to have Jeff Gordon, you know, the guy that I've looked up to my whole life and my racing career. My first number was 24. I don't even know if anybody knows that, but just because of Jeff. So to have him come up right before the race, when I'm sitting here thinking, man, I don't know who my partner's going to be. I don't know what's going to happen. I guess I'll just sink and then pick somebody up and go to the front again. So Jeff Gordon's like, hey, man, I'll work with you. I said, really? You know, I didn't think it was serious at first. And then we ended up getting together there, and he stayed loyal to us, and I stayed right on his butt the whole time, just pushed him, you know. And, you know, that was just unbelievable to be working with Jeff in the first race that I was in here.
When I was listening, before I spoke to him on the parade lap, I was listening to he and his team communicate. He prayed. He said a prayer for he and his team before they rolled off. So a really quality young man.
Scanning radio, Dale Earnhardt Jr. worries he may have a tire going soft.
That's the chance you take coming down fueling only. Run over something or have a soft tire.
Our top 15 cars on this restart, they stayed out. They pitted that first caution back on lap 6.
So Brad Keselowski, the new driver of the Blue Deuce for Roger Penske, leads them to the green flag. Bobby Labonte in the 47. Stephen Wallace, a rookie, in the 77. Terry Labonte, the 32. Paul Menard in the 27. Then Tony Stewart, Jamie McMurray, and David Rudiman. Let's crank it up. And worrisome. That's what restarts are here at Daytona.
You know, a lot of the guys that have been coming here for years, they kind of view the preliminary events as just practice. But on Sunday, the Daytona 500, usually think the veterans show up. Bobby Labonte, he's a veteran.
Got some Chevrolets, though, ganging up there on the outside. Paul Menard, remember, this is the 4th Richard Childress racing car for 2011, getting pushed by Tony Stewart in that 14 car.
Last year's winner slipping in the picture as well. Jamie McMurray in the 1 car with his teammate in tow, 42, Juan Montoya.
Joey Logano in the 20. Dale Jr., the 88, slipped to the inside, move up to 5th and 6th. Before they went green, Mark Martin looked aside at Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s tires and said everything looked fine.
Probably when he dropped down off the track coming to get that, when he realized the caution was out, may have picked up a lot of dirt and debris on his tires off the apron. That'll give you a false sense of a flat tire.
Jeff Gordon running down on the inside. Here's Matt.
Mike, he appreciated the help from the 4 of Casey Kane, but he's been looking for his new little buddy, the 21 of Trevor Bayne. But under that caution, Gordon had a lot of questions about all the unknown variables so far.
Does that mean we have to call Gordon the skipper?
Remember what that 20 was like in the in that shootout practice. Everybody's been talking about it. Just he's really squirrely. Yeah, I mean, we're not his pusher or anything, you know. It's always every other car, so trying to figure out if we're a pusher or a puller.
"16 cars out front, 8 pairs of 2. The front car, the puller, the back car, the pusher, and they have to stay in contact to maintain maximum speed."
Yeah, it's really synchronized. I mean, you have to work absolutely in unison with the guy in front of you. If he moves, you got to move with him. And then you got to stick the nose out of your car out every now and then and get some air on it too. So a lot going on behind the wheel of these cars this time.
You know, we mentioned Dale Earnhardt Jr. in the 88 pushing that orange car, Joey Logano in the 20. Remember, both those cars had to start this race at the rear of the field in backup cars.
And they now run 7th and 8th.
Junior's old backup car is not a bad piece. Jeff Gordon drove that car last year at Talladega, finished 8th in it, so it's all right.
The 1 of Jamie McMurray up
Whoa.
high, making the swap with Juan Paulo Montoya.
That was pretty cool right there.
That was perfect.
That was great.
They timed that perfect. You have to do that because, as Darrell mentioned, you can only follow directly behind another driver because the car will start to overheat. But what a swap those guys pulled
That
off.
was a thing of beauty.
Greg Biffle with Carl Edwards now.
Teammates working together. You see him working the throttle a little bit, man. Carl had to get, he had to get out of the, or Biffle had to get out of the gas there for a second. I gotta believe I've never done this. I've never pushed somebody all the way around the racetrack like this. Always on the straightaway. This has got to be the most nerve-wracking, intense, physically demanding job that a driver could ever have.
Quite a run that car on the outside, that 47 car. Remember, that's a new look and a new team for Bobby Labonte, being pushed by Brad Keselowski in the 2.
Paul Menard, your leader in the Daytona 500. This summer, Earth Goes Dark from director Michael Bay, executive producer Steven Spielberg. Transformers, Dark of the Moon, in theaters everywhere in 3D, July 1st. Caution is out for the 3rd time in the Daytona 500. Kevin Harvick appeared to lose an engine off turn number 2, and his car slowed up. There's Harvick's car going to the garage. Jeff Gordon got into the back of Robbie Gordon. We'll show you that in a bit. First, pit stops. Steve.
Mike, Tony Stewart said no handling issues whatsoever. He's going to get fuel only. Matt.
The 24, Jeff Gordon, making his way to his stall so that Alan Gustafson can take a look to make sure that there isn't any damage to that nose. There is some slight cosmetic damage. They've got some bear bond to fix that. 3 seconds of fuel for the 24, Krista.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. made the call for fuel only. He also said he needs to know more about what that car in front of him is doing.
There's the race off pit road. Former IndyCar and Formula One star Juan Paulo Montoya. over Jamie McMurray, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. picks up 9 spots coming off pit road. Here is the damage to Jeff Gordon's car. Here's what happened at turn 2.
You know, Larry and Mike, I'm almost thinking, I know there's smoke and it's probably pretty hard to see, but Trevor Bayne is right on him. I think he was afraid to slow down too quickly, afraid that Trevor might turn him around. So I think it was a combination of smoke and then somebody right on his back bumper.
Outside him, right in front of us, man, right in front of us is a blown engine. Get down. We got in the back of the 7 pretty hard. 10-4.
Jeff Gordon trying to win his 4th Daytona 500. There's a bit of damage to the bumper cover.
We've seen these things go out through the grass pretty hot and heavy and come right back up on the track and continue on. This nose they got on this car this year, Larry, is a tough son of a gun.
Well, it is, you know, but it's the most sensitive part of that race car. But one thing I did notice, Trevor Bayne in the 21, he did check up behind Jeff Gordon in the 24 when he saw that smoke.
Gordon gets repair and back on track. Now, on a previous restart, Kyle Busch had trouble getting up to speed. They said they were still having trouble with the toe-in on his car. That's the adjustment of to which way the front wheels are pointing relative to one another. They brought him back in under that next caution and got it squared away.
Boy, that's a sick feeling right there, man.
Yep, the 2007 winner, Kevin Harvick, climbs out.
20 laps into the Daytona 500, and you're going home.
And he won 2 of the 4 carburetor restrictor plates last year. But Darrell, we don't know exactly what went on. There's his owner, Richard Childress, owns those 4 cars. But we were a little concerned, especially as hot as it's going to be today, how much of a toll it was going to take on these engines with what they're trying to do out there.
The speeds we're seeing, the RPM we're seeing, the temperature in the engine, we're asking that engine to do an awful lot.
Kevin's last DNF due to engine trouble 152 races ago. Dick?
You never blow motors. What happened today?
Yeah, I mean, just they're suspecting a broken block or broken head. Didn't do anything different than what I had been doing. We had just a 10-15 more degree oil temp than what we had been, and I pulled out from behind the 17 when I felt like I got to the point where I needed to pull out, and just the bottom fell out of it. So it's hate it for everybody on this Budweiser Chevrolet, everybody from Jimmy John's and Budweiser, but tough way to start the year. But man, like you say, we never blow motors. Everybody at ECR does a great job.
And Kevin Harvick last year had the best results of anyone at Daytona Speedway. Out already today.
And he could be in, like he said, not a good way to start, because guess how many points he got today? Right now, if he continues to be the first car out of the race.
1 under the new point system.
And 1 is a lonely number.
Well, actually, he gets 2 points, Darrell, because he led a couple of laps.